tonight's episode of Video Game Town Hall. Our contestants include Grant Bruner from Delaware.
It's true. I'm from Delaware, a state in the Union.
And I am your host, Regis Philbin.
It's not a terrible Regis Philbin. I have to say, you could have done a lot worse.
I once dressed as Shrek on Letterman.
Jared, did you know that we also have a program that's available exclusively on Patreon?
What? Tell the viewers about this.
If you like what you hear, if you want more content, we have a monthly podcast that is exclusive to Patreon. If you go to videogame.town/donate, you can find our Patreon. And for as little as $5 a month, you can get a bonus episode every single month of the year. We would really much appreciate it. There are other tiers that gets you some extra stuff. But kind of like regardless, we would really appreciate it. If you don't like to do the monthly subscription stuff, which believe me, I get, we also have a Ko-fi if you want to just do a one-time donation. And then even if you don't want to spend any money or you can't spend any money, if you just gave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we would really appreciate it.
That's incredible.
Are you going to do the whole podcast?
No, I just figured we would do like a blank check bit where like one was doing like a character and the other one was like trying to do the ad read.
And just also see how long it would take for me to be like, okay, Jared, get out of the character.
Grant, it's going to shock you.
Hold on, you got to introduce yourself. You can tell people who you are.
All right, yeah, I'm Jared Russo, the mayor of Video Game Town and the host of the podcast. Okay, that's not important. What's important is, Grant, would you believe that Leon S. Kennedy
Rookie Cop
is back?
I find that hard to believe, but I guess I can believe that they would bring Rookie Cop Leon S. Kennedy back.
You know what the S stands for?
For Suck It, Zombies.
Scott.
That's not as funny as Suck It, Zombies.
So
it's Leon, Stank Kennedy.
Don't insult the man. So obviously, I'm referring to Resident Evil Requiem. Resident Evil Requiem is out.
Is it not just called RE9?
They have a weird thing where it's like the 8 in Village is hidden and the 9. I don't know. Don't. I'm gonna call it RE9.
Okay. Because I legitimately I haven't been following it super closely, and everybody just calls it RE9, and I'm like, did they go back to the number? I don't remember if they went back to the number or not.
I think they're no longer doing the numbers, but they're going to hide the number within the title,
in the text,
and then like clearly show it for the fans.
Are they hiding the 9 in the Q in Requiem?
Yeah, they like do like a the Q turns into like a 9, or like it'll like go backwards, and it's a whole thing.
What if they just called it? What if they just did the numbers? Like what's wrong with the numbers? Like I don't know. Is it that it's off-putting to people who have never played the game before?
Yeah, so it is apparent to every company now that once you start going up in the numbers, it's like, we need to make this Assassin's Creed not do 4 colon whatever. So for the 5th one they didn't, and then with Halo they stopped, and with RE they only Final Fantasy could just continue the numbers.
I think it's nice. Like, obviously, it does get unwieldy eventually, but like, I don't know. It lets you know what's a real one, because like they've put out a bunch of other Resident Evil games, like Outbreak or whatever, and you go like, oh, okay, these are like side games. These are games that like, yeah, you don't need to play this. Like, if you're a freak, then go by all means play this weird offshoot. But I don't know. I kind of like it when they're like, no, this is a real one. We're putting out a real one, and you go, okay, it's a real one. I'll play that one.
Grant, what if I told you that this game is the most Resident Evil and has the most amount of callbacks, references, lore, like things from previous games, and I mean that literally and figuratively. Like, this is such nostalgia bait. It is so for the fans.
But here's the problem. I have no doubt that the game is good. They've put out a bunch of good games in a row. Yep. This is the core context you need to. This is not me saying that the game is good. I haven't played it, but I am 100% sure the game is good.
Yep.
It is getting great reviews.
Yep.
I'm sure it's great.
Yep.
However, I find I've played other RE games, but I just find the lore so boring that I just find like the idea of like nostalgia baiting for Resident Evil. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of out then. Like, I kind of liked that they like, they've always, like, when they rebooted it with 7, like, they're, rebooted in terms of, like, style, not necessarily reboot the narrative, but, like, I kind of like that it's like, okay, we're separating, even it's still the same universe or whatever, but like we're doing our own thing, and we'll make references that a thing exists elsewhere, that Raccoon City exists, Umbrella Corporation exists, but like this is our thing. This is a thing here. I find that really compelling. And the more they're trying to weave that into Rookie Cop, Leon S. Kennedy, like the Umbrella Corp shit, the more they do that, the more I'm like, okay, well then now I'm kind of out.
Well, guess what, Grant? This game is so involved in retracing the past that it, like, is up its own ass with its own, like, remakes. Like, it is like, hey, remember the remakes we made? This is for you. And you're like, wait a second, I've been here because this was in the remakes. Like, that's how involved it is. Like, wait, this note I read, this is from the remakes they made.
I kind of don't like that. Am I just a crank? Am I just like an old grumpy man? But I'm just like, oh, can you do something new? Like, yeah, you made Resident Evil games in the 90s. I remember them.
Yep. This is I don't want to say the best version, but in terms of gameplay, just pure controls and the pure, like, minute to minute what you're doing, this is the best form of what 7 did and the best of what, like, RE2 did or RE4 did, the remakes. But I would say that having played through it 1.5 times, there is so little that is quote unquote new here, like in the environments and in the story, that I'm like, maybe I like 7 and 8 more because, like, they were, like, brand new characters, brand new locations, like brand new
they're
everything.
Doing something, right? Like they're trying to be its own thing.
This is very deferential to all of the previous games in the modern era, and I'm still reckoning with, like, where it ranks, because it's obviously great. It looks great. It sounds great. I mean, the story is fucking ridiculous, as all of them are, but, like, there's so much, like, hey, remember this specific thing? We brought it back, motherfucker, and it's that for 9 hours.
That sounds tiresome to me.
Well,
did you like that? Does that do it for you?
It was okay. So I played it with my friends here, who are all big RE fans. Previous
sure,
guests
so
of
there's
the
some
podcast.
amount of hooting and hollering,
Yes.
just that's baked into playing it with friends.
Yes,
who are invested.
And I would say if you, like, literally like Resident Evil to the degree that you'd start watching, like, the CG movies where they do that, where it's like, let's put all the characters in this movie fighting a big monster in CG, and you're like, yeah, they put them all back together again. Like, that's what this is, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
A little more prestige-y.
Mm-hmm. But this is it sounds to me like Mr. X will be back in Avengers Doomsday.
Grant, you might need to edit this, but they literally...
Like, I'm so unsurprised. I'm so fucking unsurprised. But it's like they're doing the bit, right? They're doing the meme.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds really off. Whatever. I am obviously in the minority here because everybody is loving it. People are just so excited about
I see what
game.
they did, and there's a lot of more of that. I would say the stuff with Grace is relatively new because it's like a new character who is related to a character from Outbreak, but, like, I mean, that's a multiplayer game that had, like, a lot of playable characters, and the one that they picked to bring back, she was an investigative reporter. She was a journalist, and she was getting to the bottom of something, and then she gets killed off at the very start of RE9, which sort of leads her daughter, who is an FBI agent, to then, when she grew up, go into the FBI to sort of finish what her mother started and, like, find out, like, you know, what her mom got involved with. And the gameplay parts with her are new. So it's like the zombies, it's a new strand of the T-virus, so they are, like, 20% human, so they can, like, talk and they're still doing the job that they once had. So, like, the maid will still clean, and the chef in the kitchen will still want to cook. And, like, everyone, it's like their humanity is, like, slowly coming out, but they're still zombies. And that's new. And then it gets to Leon, and it's like, remember 4? Fucking hell yeah, dude, chainsaws. And you're like, this is awesome, but this is not revolutionary whatsoever. And so it is literally a game, it is like 2 different games smushed together, where, for me, I was going through first-person Grace, I got a map, I'm finding keys to open doors, but I'm sort of, like, using the zombies, like, there's a butler who turns off all the lights because his job was to turn off the lights. So I'm using flashlights to manipulate him to where to go for stealth. And I'm like, this is new. This is interesting. and then it goes to Leon, and you're like, how about a fucking bombed out Raccoon City that you've literally been to before, except for it's even more gray and brown, and it's like, chainsaw up, dude, and it's like, that's all fine and dandy, but it's not new. It's quite old.
So it sounds like there are interesting things in there.
Oh, for sure.
But it seems like there's a lot of, like, you have to dig through nostalgia to get into the interesting stuff.
I would say the nostalgia, you don't have to dig through it. It is more like in the cutscenes and the fact that like Leon sections do go back to the bombed out Raccoon City, and you do go back to like the police station or whatever. They've shown this in trailers, but it is fascinating that like, because the standard is first person for Grace, third person for Leon, it's like your brain has to like completely sort of 180 like an hour or two into each segment, because you're just going to, it's like Whiplash. So it's like, oh shit, like this is RE4 gameplay, and it's like third person, I'm doing cartwheels, and I'm spin kicking, and I have like a parry with my new hatchet, and I'm like picking up like throwing like spears, and it's all like RE4. And then you go to Grace and you're like, I'm in first person. I gotta crouch. I gotta like peek around corners. I gotta like save my ammo. And then Leon, it's like, I'm gonna upgrade my fucking guns. I'm gonna buy body armor. Like, it is really two completely different games that they could have just made into their own and just smashed them together.
Yeah. And I'm sure that they'll do DLC, which I feel like they do a lot of DLC for these games, yep. And I feel like people like the fall off has to be huge. Like the number of people who play the DLC versus play the main game has to be an enormous cliff.
Especially because the DLCs are really hit and miss. Either they're really good or they're really bad, and there's no in between.
Yeah. Also, like, ties into Outbreak. Like, I'm looking here. It looks like Outbreak sold like a little under 1.5 million copies, which is nothing to sneeze at. Like 1.5 million copies is as of a PS2 game is totally fine
for a
it's
weird
not like,
multiplayer spinoff.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, what a flop, but it's like, surely the vast majority of people who are invested in RE don't know or care about Outbreak, right?
They do a really good job of actually sort of like, they introduce the Ashcroft mother and daughter in like a completely new way, where you're really learning about like them in a way that like, it's neat if you had played Outbreak, but just because she was one of the playable characters does not mean that like there's no amount of like, previously on. If you remember, it's like, no, you don't need to. Like, that's not important. So this has nothing
would
to do
you
with
say
Outbreak.
that you because like, think back to your initial experiences. Would you say that this is like hitting the highs of something like 7?
No, it is like the most refined and polished, but
it's less exciting. Like, it's less like, holy shit, look at what they're fucking doing.
I definitely think that when the reviews came in, people were like, this is the best one yet. And I finished it and I'm like, that wasn't the best one yet. It's very good, but no.
Maybe a little overhyped, even for people who are enthusiasts about RE.
Yeah, a smidge. I mean, listen, what I've loved this game to only be Grace and only first person, it's only committing to being spooky, sure. And what I've loved a direct sequel to 4, which is this is kind of like that, with way more interesting like environments and puzzles. Yeah. I imagine they're going to introduce Mercenaries DLC, so there's more like Leon action gameplay. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. It's like they literally bring back certain like characters and boss fights, and you're just like, this is cool if you're an RE fan, but like, I can't fathom playing this after 7 and 8 and people being like, who?
Yeah, it is weird, especially because like it feels like they found with 8, they found such a special thing with Lady D.
Yep.
And I'm not saying they need to just bring back Lady D, but it's like, okay, keep going, get weirder, make more freak shit.
There is mostly new cool freak shit with Grace's segments, and I will say that there is a costume in the deluxe edition that is Lady D for Grace, if you're into that.
Okay, so that's Gooner bait. Right?
I'm into that. I'm now playing as Grace in third person, wearing the Lady D outfit.
So which do you prefer in terms of like gameplay, in the first person or third person? With
Grace first, with Leon third. I even think Grace in third is fine too. The first person Leon stuff is fucking. I don't think they should ever go back to that. I don't think it works.
Doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, I think that's cool, and like, I'm unsurprised that they are going back to their two protagonist model that seemed to work very well in the early game.
Yeah, and it's neat that, like, at least for the first half of the game, like, you're in this one particularly big area, so that, like, you can, like, if you didn't kill this zombie, it'll, like, awaken as, like, a Crimson Head in Leon's campaign, and it's, like, you know, like, that's sort of, like, they both share an environment, so they both share items and enemies, and you know, like, one can, like, use his hatchet to, like, bust open doors that, like, she can't open or whatever. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I definitely think if they...
And so, go ahead.
Nope. I definitely think if they took the gameplay, and they just, like, removed it from both characters and, like, just kept that and just, like, kept doing new things in better places, this would definitely work, because there is some fatigue where you're like, I'm literally in the fucking Umbrella Lab from the previous remakes again. Like,
Yeah.
they're new hallways, but they're still the same Umbrella hallways. Whereas in 7 and 8, it was like, I've never seen this before. That whole game is like, I've never been here. I've never seen this.
Yeah, here's some wild bullshit happening. Here's like 8. Like, listen, I don't think 8 is like perfect, and I definitely think it does the Resident Evil thing of like it loses steam over time, but it's making swings. Like, it's doing fucking some wild shit in that game.
I am fascinated to know where the fuck they go from here, because it's like,
what do you do? Like,
this is the logical end point of whatever previous RE, because they introduced so many fucking characters from the previous games, and they would have to just do a completely new thing, because it's like the world knows, like, they I think they might have cured the viruses, and it's like, all right, like, we're done with their stories, like, we're done with raccoons, like, that's over. What's next?
Here's a pitch. What if there is a significant amount of time, like a time jump of like, okay, things have settled down. Raccoon City has become maybe not normal, but has become like livable again. It's a place that people can be, and not a zombie apocalypse bullshit thing.
I don't think that will ever happen, but you can. All right, sure.
And then you go, wait a second. Oh shit. It's been 20 years and the zombies are back.
I mean, that's sort of what happens in this game. It's like, oh shit, the zombies are back in, like, the nearby town of Raccoon City, and then they go back to Raccoon City, and it was like, they dropped a fucking nuke, you know? So it's like, they're not gonna rebuild for a while. But that's, like, more or less what this game is. Why not go into, like, ancient Egypt and be like, you're investigating a pyramid, and you find some ancient ooze? Like, you could just do that with the formula. Like, I have a torch, and, you know, I'm avoiding zombies, and I'm eating the green herbs. Like, you could do that, or you could just do, like, not prequel, but you could do, like, just young Leon with that combat, and he's in a different part of the world, and he's doing fucking kicks and, you know, flips and all that other fun stuff. Because, like, the shooting's awesome, and upgrading your weapons is awesome, and it looks awesome, and it sounds awesome. Where I was and what I was technically doing, I was like, I've seen better. And I love the grace parts. The grace parts are really great, because, like, it's fucking good and scary and it's smart, and it's like they know where you're gonna end up being, and they, like, kind of know how to frame things in a way where it's like, that was a clever jump scare, or like, oh, that was a really cool moment. So there's a lot of really good shit in this game, but this is the logical endpoint.
And that's the thing about 7, right? Is that not that it is like a direct derivative of PT, but it feels like it's a post PT game, and like, okay, we can make this a fucking, like, real nightmare place to be. Like, we can make this some real bullshit, not just like goofy fun time zombies.
I will also say there are some minor quibbles in that Ethan Winters as a protagonist was such a blank slate, and he didn't really say much.
Sure, yeah, he's a nothing character.
And in this game, Grace starts as an FBI agent. So you'd think she had to be pretty smart and, like, pretty together. And she is the literal most, like, Mr. Magoo, like, I have the stutters the entire game, no matter whether she's, like, talking to her boss or, like, at the end when she had, like, killed 1,000 zombies. And it's, like, literally every voice line is her stuttering, like, in, like, what's going on? And it's like, all right.
I mean, that's how I would react if I was, like, just a person, and then it was like, surprise fucking zombies, everybody.
But you don't sit at your desk and turn around and, like, knock your papers over, like, oh, whoopsies. You don't do that.
I mean, if there were zombies, I fucking might. Not sorry. I mean, like, I don't know.
Not at the fucking start, where it's like, Grace, see me in my office.
Yeah.
Zoink, Scoob.
See, now you're making it sound good again. You're going so far the other way where now it's like a ridiculous, like a comedy of errors, and that sounds great.
I mean, so in third person, they make her like stumble and they make her aim shaky to like sort of like make up for the fact that you can like peek around corners, you know, like you can see more of your surroundings in third. But I'm having a fucking blast like in this new game plus where it's like it saved all of the collectibles and you can do different outfits and you can do different like filters on the screen and like you can do fun challenges to like get like weird guns and infinite ammo and like these are meant to be like sort of replayable because the hour count will considerably go down once you skip cutscenes and you know where you're going or you have certain
you become
things.
a tofu block.
Yeah, so like I mean those previous games were just fun to go through like a second and third time and this is no different.
And you just rocket launcher everything
if you want. So yeah, RE9.
Rocket launcher.
It's great, but I don't.
Sounds good. I mean, like it sounds like it's like a fun time.
It's a great time.
Maybe it's not the be all end all of Resident Evil.
No, it is not the quote unquote best Resident Evil. It's just not.
It's really hard to think that it would be like, hey, they outdid 4.
No one will ever
4 is
outdo 4.
Yeah, because it's like the same thing with like Zelda, where like you can have like obviously Breath of the Wild is like the most successful Zelda ever, like for by a lot. But it's like you're never gonna outdo Ocarina of Time, whereas you're just fucking like blowing the doors off. Like this is how you make this kind of video game, and you're like instructing people. Like that's what Resident Evil 4 was. Just like here is how you make a over the shoulder third person shooter, and then that was a dominant style of game for like a decade. You would have to have something that is that impactful to outdo it, and that's exceedingly hard to do.
I would say 99% of video games don't hold a candle to RE4, because RE4 was a lot of game paced beautifully. It had a brilliant economy with the number of hidden like jewels and like things you could like explore and find and sell and like upgrade, and it just had so many interesting locations. And so many good puzzles, and so many great boss battles. And it was just like a dream to go through again and again and again. These newer games are really tight 12 to 15 hour experiences, and they're phenomenal. But they still just like don't capture the magic that 4 had of like, this game keeps going and it keeps getting better. Or like, this fucking dialogue is so cheesy and dumb and funny. Like, they can try to replicate it. You're not going to replicate like, where's everyone going? Bingo? Or, my right hand comes off? Like, there's all these, like, you know, like the little Lord Salazar. Like, this game, like, tries to do moments where he's like, I make a pun about what just happened. And I'm like, Leon, nah, man. You're too old for this. You're too old for this.
Yeah. I know that they are bringing the 7 and 8 to Switch 2. Looks like those are out. Do you think that they bring, and I know that there's like cloud versions of the remakes. Do you think that they port Resident Evil, like the Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4 remakes to the Switch 2? Why not, right?
I guess so. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, sure, go for it. I would never play any of these games on the Switch unless I literally had to. Like, I would just play them on another thing.
Yeah, but you like it's just such a like a. I feel like now that the Switch 2 is like so much more competent in terms of like horsepower, that I'm just like, when games are available and they play fine, I'm just like, I don't know, man. What if I bought it on the Switch 2 instead of on the PlayStation?
That's crazy to me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play like indies and Nintendo games on my Switch, and I like no big third party game I would ever think like Nintendo's where I want to go for that. Like, no.
I don't know. The thing is, like, I also, as I am an old person, I increasingly am playing on the couch or in bed, and I'm like, while my wife is like watching TV or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. Get one of those PS Pros.
You're on there. I'm gonna watch this on a 40, or an 80-inch TV or whatever.
Goddamn right.
What else have you played? What are you playing?
What are you buying? By the way, they replaced the merchant with just a big ammo box that has some like PS1 menu looking things to just like purchase your guns and upgrade your guns. And it's like that's an odd choice, but so you don't even get a fun merchant. I played the demo for Vampire Crawlers, which is
the follow-up to Vampire Survivors.
I'm not quite sure follow-up is the term I would use, but sure.
Those developers are taking what they learned in that game and doing a different genre.
They took the aesthetics and all the assets and made a different thing. And so it, on the surface, seems like, oh, I'm just playing that original game in a new form. And then you start playing and you're like, oh, they made like a different thing.
Mm.
And it's good. I don't know if you've seen gameplay footage of this.
I've not. I know it's an entirely different kind of game.
Picture the Elder Scrolls 1.
Okay. That's very, very basic in terms of like 3D geometry.
And you're like going forward to the side, you're going through a dungeon, and you literally like approach like a bat. And then like
okay,
3 options will pop up. And it's like, you want to throw an axe? You want to like, do like a magic thing? Or do you want to like gain some armor? And you have like mana cost. And so you're sort of just like doing a turn-based thing. And so obviously some of those are one-to-one, like throwing fire or like, the AoE garlic for knockback. But things like the attract orb in the original game attracts your experience points from further away. That is a completely different thing. That's just like drawing a new option. And like they had to like rework like 50% of all of the abilities and weapons because this is like a completely turn-based RPG thing of like, do I want to lower this mana cost? Do I want this to also do double damage? Do I want to like add armor? Do I want to increase my, like you're constantly like thinking like, well, how do I like build my deck, quote unquote? Like with like, what do I want to add? What do I want to upgrade? Like, do I have enough health to like fight more enemies or do I just need to go to the next floor? And then you get your experience points and you level up, or you can like merge things to make new weapons, upgrades. And then when you're done with a run, either you die or death says like, okay, you're done. That's it. And then you go to your tavern and you're either recruiting new members or purchasing new things, and you do the loop again. So it is like just like a roguelike deck buildery dungeon crawler using the assets from the original game, but they don't play anything like each other. And there's a lot of like completely new sort of like twists in that it's all like turn-based and slow. So it's much more methodical, even though it can be fast-paced and fun. And I would definitely play the demo because it is fucking highly addicting.
And so it's like, is the demo replayable? Like, are you like doing new stuff? Or are you just doing the same thing over and over, like the same enemies over and over again?
They have 1 tutorial stage and 2 main levels, and they have several unlockable characters and a lot of like things to like progress, and your progress carries over into the real game. So it's like a pretty chewy demo. It's like a pretty good chunk of the game.
That's cool.
And it's on
Are you
Steam
playing?
and
You're
Xbox.
playing it on Steam? Are you playing on Steam Deck?
I originally played it on Steam Deck, and then they put it on Xbox, and then I played it again on Xbox.
Okay. So did it? I assume it ran just fine on Steam Deck.
Oh, it beautifully, because I mean this game is intentionally. It looks like it could run on a Genesis. You know what I mean? Like that is
Sure.
not what you're there for. You're there for the brain chemicals it releases.
Yeah. I'm looking at the screenshots now, and I'm like, okay, this looks good. And then I click through, and it's like, oh, here are cards, and I'm like, oh, cards.
I wouldn't think of them as being cards because like just because they're in that shape does not necessarily mean that like that's what you're doing. It's just like, here are your 3 options, like pick one. And you're like, okay.
So here's the question: I've never played Vampire Survivors.
Oh my god.
I know that you love it, and I know lots of people do like it. Is it? Do you? Here's knowing me as you do. Do you think I'd have a good time? Because I'm not against a like, here is like a podcast. Here's a game I can play and just listen to a podcast. Like, I'm gonna zone out and listen to a podcast.
You're gonna laugh. It is a great game to play with one hand.
No, I did laugh. In fact,
okay, you did laugh.
I love vampires.
You
I
can
love this vampire.
You can literally use the right analog stick and like the A button, and like that's all you need to do. Like, there's no other things you need.
I mean, listen, like Jetpack Joyride. Like, it is a 1-button game that I have put, like, I don't know the numbers, but like dozens of hours into, because it's like just a fun thing to do. Like, I need to fucking chill out. I don't want to think too hard. I'm going to put on a podcast or put on some music, and I'm just going to play this on my Vita or on my phone, and I'm just gonna fucking do this. Like that's like I am not against that kind of game, and I think that like my read on Vampire Survivors, the original,
Yep,
is that's what that game is,
and it's one of the best. It's on your phone, it's on your tablet, it's on every console. It can run.
And it's like a couple.
It's
like $3, right? It's a handful of bucks.
Oh, dude, it's like dirt cheap. Like I would not be shocked if you can find that game for $1 on literally any platform.
Yeah, and then they supported the hell out of it, which is awesome. Like I love when. I mean, like, listen, I'm not saying like, hey, just do work for free forever. But I love when an indie game is so successful that like the game has made so much money that it's like, oh yeah, well fucking yeah, we'll support it. And there's like Stardew Valley is obviously a great example, or like No Man's Sky, where it's like, listen, this game made us so much fucking money that like, yeah, dude, we'll just support the game for a decade. Like, it's cool. We're making lots of money.
There's a ton of free DLC, which are just characters and weapons and stages and secrets. And then there's some really good stuff for really cheap. And I mean real cheap. Like that Castlevania stuff again was like $1 or $2. I mean, it was like so just nothing, but it was great.
Yeah. I think the thing that initially was off-putting, because like it was when people first started talking about it, they're like, "This is like an asset flip." It's like because I think it was literally like they bought like assets from a store and then put that in the game, and people were like, "Asset flip," and I would just go, "Oh, asset flip? That doesn't sound good." But clearly, they hit something.
What is this? Not the greatest return on investment in asset flipping history, though. Like
for sure,
Jesus. Yeah,
and let me be clear. Like, it's not that you can never use like buy art that has been made and use in the game. It's just that there's so many low quality games that just buy pre-made stuff, and they just like, okay, it's whatever shit from the Unity store, slop it in here, slop it out. Like, it's fine. This will make us a little bit of money from people who are too like undiscerning to figure out this is garbage. So like, yeah, I mean, I think that I understand why I was initially off put, but they have proved themselves over and over.
Well, whatever they started with initially, in the 20 different DLCs since, they've invented way more new stuff.
Yeah.
They've included Among Us, they've included Castlevania, they've included some other indie games as collabs.
That was kind of the initial thing, is like, this is an asset flip from a pack, but it was like Castlevania like rip-off art. Like somebody was like ripping off Castlevania. It's not literally pixel for pixel, but it's like, all right, well, they made this to look like fucking 2D Castlevania.
And you could like change the food pickups, what looks like the chicken or like the roasted
wall meat.
Yeah, the wall meat. And then they did the official collab, so they're off scot-free.
Jared, I know you love Castlevania. Have you ever watched the Vinnyvania series from Giant Bomb? Yep. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Listen, I don't really want to spend too much time, especially like you get into the proper Metroidvania ones, and you go like, okay, well maybe I could eventually see myself playing those. But it's like those NES ones, I'm never going to play those. But watching Vinny Carabello play them, what a treat! What a delight!
Yeah, I mean, if you're into those platformers, the side-scrolling ones, like they're awesome. But like the Metroidvania games themselves.
Yeah, totally different. Like a totally different experience.
I don't think anyone's ever really topped them. All right. Enough of that.
Now we're getting into it now. The only other thing is that I've put some time into Metal Gear Solid 1 on the enhanced graphics of Metal Gear Solid 1 on the Switch 2. I think it's pretty cool. I do think it is like going back to Metal Gear Solid 1 for like the PS1 version, you know, in the Switch 2 collection. You see like, oh, okay, this is really basic, and they make a lot of real big improvements to the way that game plays, to the way the series plays in Metal Gear Solid 2. And then it does make me want to play Twin Snakes, where it's like, it's that game. It's all of the core of Metal Gear Solid 1, but with Metal Gear Solid 2, like gameplay and physics and stuff. And it's like, fuck, it's so good. Like Metal Gear Solid 1 is a great game. And then you add in all of the cool shit, like control stuff from Metal Gear Solid 2, and it's like it's a no-brainer. It's such a great experience. I really wish that they would release Twin Snakes. It's never going to happen. It's not like, it is so not going to happen. Even in oh wow, they're finally going to put out Metal Gear Solid 4, which seemed somewhat impossible for a long time. But Twin Snakes seems like proper. This is actually seriously, no, for real, it's never going to happen.
Collection 3, Twin Snakes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, now let's get into the serious stuff.
We have 15 questions. Grant, are you ready to become a
I am
millionaire?
A million rupier.
You have 3 lifelines, Grant.
Okay.
One of them is 50-50, in which I will eliminate
Okay.
2 wrong answers at random.
Okay. Mhm.
One of them is to ask me, the host,
What's the answer?
what I think. On the celebrity ones recently with Jimmy Kimmel, that is also a lifeline. It's like you just ask Jimmy.
Okay, that's funny.
And most of the time he knows, and sometimes he just doesn't. And the third one is not going to be phone a friend. It's going to be you get 30 seconds to bing it.
Okay,
Let's see
I'm down.
how far you get.
Are there stopping points, or can I walk away with my points, or do I just go until I fail?
You can choose to walk away at any point.
Okay.
With your earnings, but since there are no real earnings, you might as well just go for it and see how far you get.
Just keep playing. Okay.
For $100,
100 rupees.
what is the name of the Switch 1 exclusive new IP fighting game that launched on March 17th, 2017? Arms, legs, feet, or shoulders?
See, I do love the writing for these. Did you
Thank you.
bring Katie in for these?
No, this is all me.
It's all Jared.
Yeah.
I'll go with Arm's final answer.
That's correct. I've watched so much Millionaire, I know how these joke questions at the beginning kind of go.
Yeah.
All right. For $200, this orange cat is known as a time sweeper due to his abilities to rewind, pause, and fast forward. A,
Pause. You know what I'm saying?
A, Big the cat. B, Blinks. C, a Khajiit. Or D, Garfield.
I desperately want to say Garfield, but I will go with Blinks, the time cat final answer.
That is correct. For $300, this is not one of the original PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 franchises that gamers could find on their store shelves in the 90s or early 2000s. So this is not one of those original PS1 or PS2 games.
Okay.
A, Siphon Filter. B, SOCOM. C, Haze. Or D, Ape Escape.
C, Haze final answer.
That is correct. That was a PS3 game.
I don't remember. I remember that Haze exists, but I just remember so little about like the branding or whatever.
There's a lot of like yellow stink clouds. And
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Like because of the name.
For $400, Rare is a famous studio based out of what country? A, Germany. B, France. C, Italy. Or D, the United Kingdom.
D, the United Kingdom. Final answer, Regis.
Bing, bing, bing. You're at $500.
Okay. These not hard, but like you have to actually know stuff. You have to pay attention.
This is the first game to ever use rotoscoping for animation.
Ooh.
A, Karateka. B, Lunark. C, Mortal Kombat, the original. Or D, Prince of Persia.
I'm gonna go Karateka.
Are you sure about that?
Final answer.
You're positive about that.
I'm positive about it.
You're positive Karateka was the first game to use rotoscoping for its animation.
That sounds right.
Now you're making me second guess myself.
I mean, it's either that or Pop. Because there's a thing, but like I know Karateka. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I felt like maybe it was rotoscope, but like I guess I'll go Pop then.
All right, I'm gonna throw this one out. Why are there conflicting reports on what game used it first?
I mean, I'm looking here on the Wikipedia. It says rotoscoped. I was pretty sure it was Karateka, but fucking
I was pretty sure it was Prince of Persia.
Let me see with the thing. So there's a Digital Trends making of Karateka. No, I was pretty sure that it was. Like that's what makes it so fucking wild. I felt really crazy. I'm like, did I dream up that Karateka used rotoscope? But no. According to this Digital Trends article, it did.
All right, you get it right. Let's move on. Now I gotta think about it. All right. For $1,000. This is the first big landmark.
Was the Karateka question not $1,000?
Now it's $500.
That was throwing it out entirely.
That was $500, but we're throwing that out.
Okay.
Moving on. This Mortal Kombat character is named after combining the last names of its 2 main co-creators. A, Johnny Cage. B, Aaron Black. C, Noob Saibot. Or D, Liu Kang.
Noob Saibot. I'm trying to remember. It's Tobias and Boone. I'm trying to remember Tobias' first name. Is it Ed Boone and John? Is it just John?
It's John Tobias, yes.
John Tobias. Yeah. Noob Saibot.
For $4,000, this famous franchise has seen ports to the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, the Apple II, IBM PC, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, NES, MSX, Game Boy, Game Gear, all the way to iPod Classic and Windows phones, but originally started in arcades? Is it A, Mario Brothers, B, Pac-Man, C, Donkey Kong, or D, Sonic the Hedgehog?
Okay. I'm going to go 50-50 on this. Just I'm fairly certain I know the answer, but I'm just going to go 50-50 it.
Boop-boop! The only remaining answers are Pac-Man and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Pac-Man, Regis. Final answer.
That is correct. Those other games did
Donkey Kong is a tough one.
It never went to iPod Classic and it never went to Windows phones.
Okay, because like it was in most of those. But I was pretty sure that Pac-Man was on the iPod Classic because there wasn't that many games on the iPod Classic. It was like a dozen or something. There wasn't that. And I think I only ever bought Tetris.
All right, for $8,000. This was one of the few games shown at a 1993 Senate congressional hearing about ratings for games, which was famously led by Joe Lieberman and Herb Kohl.
Ugh.
So while there might have been other games, only one of these four is the correct answer.
Okay.
A,
Karateka.
Postal.
Mm-hmm.
B, Night Trap. C, Carmageddon. Or D, Thrill Kill.
Night Trap.
Is that your final answer?
It's my final answer.
That is correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
You have
ding,
8,000 rupees.
I love rupees. I'm going to eat them. Don't rupees kind of look like they'd be good
They're
candy?
delicious? Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. For $16,000, which game has a famous secret ending that shows the events taking place in the story were actually controlled by a Shiba Inu dog in a control room? Is it A, Nier Automata? Is it B, Resident Evil 2, the original? Is it C, Silent Hill 2? Or D, Detroit Become Human?
I think it's a joke ending for Silent Hill, but I'm like 90% sure. So I'm gonna set Silent Hill. Final answer.
That is correct.
I was pretty sure, but I wasn't 100% sure. The other answers were just like, well, that's not it.
Games with other endings.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
For $32,000.
Okay, so this is like, I think once you get to like 32, it's like, okay, this is real fucking money. Like, not that 60K is not money. Like, this is useful, but like 32 is a real fucking like, okay, well, you're getting to like a salary now. Like you're getting to real money.
Depending on what version you watch, either 500 or 1,000 was the first platform where you were guaranteed to walk away after a wrong answer with that amount. And I think 32,000 is the next platform. So if you get this right,
because like because if you walk away, like obviously you want the million, but if you walk away, you still get 32,000. That's not nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's that's the floor. If you get this right, it's the floor for a wrong answer. If you choose to walk away and not answer, then you get whatever was the
Yeah, exactly. If you walk away, you get 64 or whatever the fuck you're at.
What is the name of this Capcom 5 planned exclusive for the GameCube that never came out? A, Dead Phoenix. B, Piano 3. C, Space Channel 5. Or D, Shadows of the Damned.
What? Like I'm pretty sure it was A, but what was A again?
Dead Phoenix.
Give me the Jared one.
You're gonna use your lifeline. Ask Jared.
Yeah, ask Jared.
All right. Here's what I know, Grant. I know that Piano 3 came out. I know that Space Channel 5 came out. And I happen to know that Shadows of the Damned came out.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go A. Final answer.
A, Dead Phoenix is the correct answer. That game never came out. It was originally planned to be part of the Capcom 5.
I don't remember it being named Dead Phoenix. I remember, obviously, I remember the Capcom 5. I don't remember the name. So, like, the B was tripping me out. So, I'm glad I took it.
All right. For $64,000, you have one lifeline left. Which of the following is not the name of a Half-Life 1 expansion pack for PC?
Okay.
So those three of them are real. One of them is not. A, Opposing Force. B, Blue Shift. C, Ground Zero. Or D, Decay.
As I know Blue Shift for sure. I know Opposing Forces for like 95%. So it's between Decay and what was the other one?
Ground Zero.
I'm gonna say Ground Zero. Final answer.
That is correct. Ground Zero, I think,
Okay.
is an expansion pack for Quake or something.
That sounds right.
All right. Good job. For $125,000
Mm-hmm.
or rupees. Which of the following is not a character from the original Earthbound game?
Okay.
Which of these is not a character in the original Earthbound video game? A. Ness. B. Paula. C. Pooh. Or D. Lucas.
See, this is a clever trick, but I know that the answer is Lucas.
Is that your final answer?
It is Lucas. That's a very tricky question. I have to give you props because that is very easy to fall into that trap. But I'm going to go Lucas.
That is correct because Lucas was the main protagonist of Mother 3.
Yeah, which those motherfuckers still have not put out in the West.
For 250,000 rupees.
Big money.
What is the canonical name? Canonical as in it is confirmed in a motion picture as of last year. What is the canonical name of the extraterrestrial species known to us as the Predators?
Okay.
Is it A, and I'm going to spell this out, W''RKCACNTER, so Rakanter. That's the first one, that's A. D, Yautja, Yautja. C, Tatanga, or D, Ewa, Eywa. For reference, I'm going to put it in the chat so you can look at all four options.
Okay, these are all bullshit. I am going to use. I'm gonna Bing it, and I have brought up. I've not typed anything in yet, but I have brought up Bing.com.
You have 30 seconds.
Legitimately Binging. Okay. Predator name species. I'm gonna go with B. Yautja.
Yautja is correct.
Okay, I got to 250,000. I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good.
Because I had watched Predator Badlands recently, that's the first time in any movie, not a comic or not a game, that they say it's like that's what predators are. They're Yautja.
I like the Yoda species type thing where it's like, listen, obviously they have a real name. Like they're a sapient species. Surely they have a name for themselves. But like you're never gonna know because they're a fucking apex predator. If you try to talk to them, they're gonna spike you in the head.
Those other ones are actual aliens from like other properties. So those are.
What's the fucking the W?
You can look that up later. You can look up those other 3. I just pulled them from a list of like alien species names.
That's fucking terrible. Like that is some real dog shit.
Well, we're kind of okay. For $500,000. Which video game franchise is the only franchise to ever technically win an Academy Award?
Okay.
Is it A, Medal of Honor? Is it B, Journey? Is it C, Enslaved Odyssey to the West? Or is it D, Call of Duty?
And so this is one of them has not?
No. Which one of these is
the only one that has?
Only one to ever win an Academy Award.
Okay. It would be because I'm trying to because I don't know the answer, so I'm trying to work backwards. It's not going to be Journey. Journey is the obvious answer, like the one that it should be. So it's the one that it should be is not going to be the one that it is. Like that's the way that these questions are written. The fact that there is a Medal of Honor and a COD, I think, is indicative of like it might be Medal of Honor because it's not going to be COD, and if it is COD, embarrassing. And I know that like Academy Award people would kind of jerk off to prestige war shit. So like Medal of Honor is, I think, a feasible answer. I don't think here's the meta thing is I don't think you would have picked Enslaved out of a hat. I just doesn't seem like a thing that you would have done. And it is Journey to the West, so it's an adaptation of Journey, the classic Chinese tale, Journey to the West.
Oh, that's what Enslaved. Okay.
Yeah. Enslaved is an adaptation of Journey to the West.
Okay. I was briefly confused because there is a game called Journey that's one of these answers.
Yes, but no, it's
a coincidence that I put them together.
Yes.
You can walk away. You can walk away.
I could walk away, but that's for cowards, Jared.
Oh my god.
Medal of Honor, final answer.
You are correct.
Wow.
Here is the story.
Okay.
Because Steven Spielberg is so involved in Medal of Honor, that there was a vignette in the game's gallery. This is for Medal of Honor Above and Beyond from 2020. It was a series of interviews collected about, like, veterans who flew. And it was made into a short documentary called Colette. This short film called Colette was selected to be a part of the Montana Big Sky Documentary Film Festival. It won Best Short, was eligible for an Oscar, and it won for Best Short Documentary Short Subject in 2021. So Medal of Honor is the correct answer.
Yeah, it seems like some bullshit that the Academy Awards would get up to.
And I picked those other games because I think one of them won a Grammy. Like you know what I mean? Like, I think Enslaved and Journey like have actually won things at either BAFTA or the Grammys. And then for Call of Duty, I put that in there because of Medal of Honor.
Yeah. So like the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is like I'm like there's no way that Jared thinks of Enslaved during the way. Like that's not a game that is in his repertoire.
I like Ninja Theory games. I think I like all of them. So,
but yeah, it's a weird game.
Now, Grant, this $1 million question is word for word a real $1 million question from the year 2000.
Okay.
So this is just straight up like this is something that someone was asked, and I think they declined to answer, but they could have won them $1 million if they knew. What insect got caught in a supercomputer in the 60s that led to the term bug? Is it A, cockroach, or cockroach, if you're Tony Montana, B, a fly, C, a beetle, or D, a moth?
So this is definitely something that I like a story that I've heard before. I'm not 100% sure. I will say beetle seems like the safest answer because there's just more beetles than any fucking thing else on Earth. But I do want to say something in my gut is saying moth, so I'm gonna go moth.
Is that your final answer?
My final answer.
You've won $1 million!
Hell yeah!
You did it!
There was a couple that were like, like this is a coin flip. Like yeah, but I think that was like a fun level of difficulty of like, I have a just because you're a nerd, you have a strong baseline, but there is just going to be stuff like the Medal of Honor question where it's just like, yeah, reading the vibes of the question is how you get there, not by actually like remembering the actual fact.
I can't believe it. You got them all right.
With help with the aids of whatchamacallit.
The lifelines? I mean, everyone uses lifelines. I mean, that's not...
No, it was good. I think that was a fun game. And how long did it take you to make all of those?
It was actually a fun experience. It didn't take me that long.
Jared, if people would like more of this kind of shenanigans, like let's say, for example, they wanted to hear what are the 25 best GameCube games.
Yeah.
Or what are the 25 best PlayStation 2 games.
Yeah.
They could go to videogame.town/donate. And for $5 a month, they could get an extra podcast every month of the year.
Or they can go to patreon.com/c/videogametown. I think we should do DS games next time.
I mean, I think that is definitely harder than the PS2 and GameCube.
And you can find us on YouTube, on Blue Sky, on Twitch, on Instagram, on TikTok, and videogame.town.
Absolutely.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye to the people. Bye-bye.